Greetings. All right. So we are live. We are doing our Venus Love Day reads. So I hope everybody's doing okay. All right, let me move this. Let me adjust this because every time I think I have it like to where we can see it good, we just don't. So we're gonna fix that. Okay, guys. See if you can see the cards at least. Like premises to see the cards. Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. We're here doing the most on this lovely Friday. So happy Venus Day to all of my subbies, whether you're new here, new subby, or you're just checking us out. Greetings. Welcome. Um, I wanted to say something real quick, but I don't remember what I wanted to say. But self-care, self-love is realizing that you get to wake up whenever. Just honor yourself. Like I realized today, like self-care for me is waking up at 11 a.m., being able to sleep in when I want to, when I don't have nothing to do, at least. So it's a lovely day outside. It rained last night, so I'm like, I feel good. So, all right, so I'm just waiting for the chat to build up. I know you guys are probably at work. So you guys don't have your notifications turned on, turn them bad boys on, okay? Turn them on. So how you guys doing today? How's everybody doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are right now, whatever time of the day it is? How are you doing? So we're going to just tap into our energy, just, check in with self. And there's some love energies that want to come through. We're going to talk about whatever divine spirit pertaining to our highest and well-being, self-care, self-love, creativity. If it's, some fashion, something that wants to come through pertaining anything beautiful and a reflection back to us that's beautiful things. We're going to talk about it today. I did have some decks I wanted to use, but what was funny was that I'm trying to get this deck right here. And this one fell, like some of the cards fell out of the box because the box was open. And some of these cards flew out. And this is a whole nother deck. This isn't the same deck. This is one of my favorite decks that Dorian Virtue made. It was like I like the style of art in this one, but she had like keywords at the top or like the title of the card, and then it would have a scripture, like a biblical scripture. And I love these cards. Like those are one of my favorite cards. So we'll look at those first and see what spirit wants you to know. Or I might just surprise myself and not really check into it and just like read, and then we'll see like what the card says. But I do see some of the cards, obviously already. Have faith to walk through new doors is one of the cards. And I'm looking at this and it's giving me that Cinderella energy vibe, like the stairway, and like it looks like the night, like she's running, she's walking. And it's like rose petals in the back, you know, something with roses. It's very romantical. It's very romantical. Like this video, you guys. Share this live with someone you feel like it may resonate with. You know, like it so you can come back and watch it later, whatever. I would greatly appreciate the engagement. Oh, and by the way, you guys, I do have some love specials going on. Okay. So the love specials are going to be valid through February the 14th, which is on Wednesday, next Wednesday. If you're watching this at the time I'm recording it anyway, if you're watching it after the 14th, this sale will no longer be available. So my future spouse reading is on sale for 20% off on my website. I have it linked in the description for you, so you guys can go there, or you guys can go to the community post. My Stairway to Heaven reading is a very in-depth, lengthy spread that I created and tailored for those of you that may feel kind of stuck in a situation. You're not clear as to where to take it. You're at a space where you need some divine intervention, some help. You care about your path, who you date, who you connect with, like you are concerned with those matters. You want to make sure that you're in alignment with the path for you, that you are connecting with the person who you're supposed to be connecting with, or just having a better understanding of the purpose of your connection, where you both stand, so on and so forth. It's very, very in depth, and I do it only through video. So you get a private video link to watch your reading. Okay. And that is a part of the special. So buy one Stairway to Heaven reading, and you get any love reading of your choice for free. You just email me what reading you want for free, right? And then I have my spicy 18 plus reads only available. It's not available on my website or anything. So you would have to um, submit your payment via my PayPal link or Cash App. And it's a topic of your choice, whatever spicy 18 plus topic you have. Some people ask, can I apply this to my future spouse? Most definitely you guys can, even if you don't know who it is yet. Like what is the energy going to be like between us potentially, or whatever your question is around that. Like, it's up to you how you want to do it. But other than that, all of my readings, you guys can find on my website. Hit in the drop down bar, the shop, which will take you to my voice recorded readings, with the exception of Stairway to Heaven. Stairway to Heaven is a video one. And then if you hit my booking tab, it will take you to like my phone reading sessions and my coaching sessions if you're interested in that. So yeah, it's lit. So hey, hey. Yeah, let's go ahead and tap in. Enough talking. Let's get into this reading and see what juiciness the divine has for us. Okay. Um, and we'll go from there. So send some love to the chat real quick so you guys can feel comfortable to hop on and say what's up. What's up? Okay. Shout out to spirits for having us gather on this lovely Friday. It's a beautiful day today. I can't even complain. I'm gonna put these cards to the side because they have a purpose, just not right now. Okay, put these to the side. So let's see. Oh, of course, of course, of course. My clumsiness, my clumsy ass. Of course. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, it's gonna be very awkward holding this like this, but I'm gonna try to make it happen. I'm gonna try to make it work. Okay, so Holy Spirit, angels, lovingly guide us and assist us, our ancestors who divinely love us and assist us. Thank you so much for your divine counsel. Mama divine spirit, Holy Spirit, what is the energy for the collective? What is the message you have for us? Do I need to channel? Do I need to channel? Spirit. I feel like you're going to have me channel. I just have that vibe that you're going to have me channel something. So what I'm going to do is do that before I pull any cards, because I feel led to do that. Um, yeah, Spirit is like recalling to me, like, to remind me not to skip over this, but a lot of you, from like people that I know personally, and I've gotten this in readings for people that I've read for recently as well, is there's like a feeling of anticipation or like anxiety, or like feeling like something is going to come, something is going to happen. And I even felt this personally a couple of weeks ago. Like I had that feeling in my stomach as well, like this anxiousness, like when something's coming, you just don't know. And I feel it could be different for each and every one of you, but I don't feel anything like heavy or negative um surrounding that. I don't feel like, I mean, and it could be different for everybody, like who knows, but just what I'm feeling energetically is more so there's something that these are blessings that's coming in, and it's like we're very close to spring. If you believe in like the New Year's and things like that, some people do not go off of the calendars as far as like January 1st being the new year. Uh-uh. Come on, Foxy. Get down. Come here. Get down. Some people would say that it's not January 1st, it's actually spring equinox. And that resonates with me more because of the fact that it's when things start to blossom and bloom. It represents new energies, you know. Winter season's more like that hibernative energy, a time for stillness. So I feel like whether you're watching this around the time that I'm recording it, where spring is the next season to come, or you know, you could be in a season anytime to where, you know, energetically your season is you're coming into that blossoming energy. And that word blossom keeps popping up a lot. Um, I feel like it's a natural thing. Like as you've been growing and growing through some things, it is natural um to have a moment of growth, to have that moment where you see things blossom and sprout. Like that's just a part of it. That's just a natural thing, just like with nature. When you plant a seed, you water it, you nurture it, you take care of it, the sunlight, you know, shines upon it and it grows, it blossoms. So that is kind of similar to what's going on with you. And if you watch last week's Venus Vibes reading, we talked about being a vine, you know, and what that means. So you're blossoming and there's something that's sprouting forth for you. This is like new doors are opening for you. Okay. Like this first card that flew out on the floor, and I felt led to pick whatever these cards up. I didn't look at all of them. So this first one for sure, it says have the faith to walk through new doors. And I want to read the scripture real quick and then we'll get into them later, but I just wanted just to reference the channeling that I'm getting. It's a scripture, Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything there is a season and a time for every activity under heaven. So all of the seasons that you've gone through were significant, whether these were seasons where you felt you were down bad or you felt stagnant, you felt like it's kind of boring, nothing was happening, or you felt like you were in the background, or you feel like, you know, this area or particular area of your life was shitty, it wasn't moving, wasn't nothing was happening for you. Every season, if you look back, held a significant purpose. Okay. So if you look up the definition of blossom, it says a flower or a mass of flowers, especially on a tree or a bush, obviously, right? It's a flower. But the other definition is this the state or period of flowering. Okay. And then I wanted to look up what flowering means, and it means the action of producing flowers. So you are at this period where either you have sprouted, you are blossomed into who you're supposed to, you know, who you're supposed to be at this time in your life, where you're supposed to be at this time in your life, or you're still in that state of watering and nurturing yourself. So the verb, it says a mature or develop in a promising or healthy way. So like when you talk about, oh, our relationship is blossoming, or I'm blossoming as a person, or our friendship is blossoming, or our business is blossoming, that means that it's maturing. It's a promising development. It also represents something healthy as well. So take blossom in the context of how it resonates for you. And for some of you, it could be that this is pertaining to connections as well. Apply it. It could be your business, your career, your path, like your health. You feel like you're blossoming. You're finally popping out. You're blooming forward. Okay. So let's tap in and Let's see, Spirit. For the collective, what are the energies that are blossoming forth, maturing, beautiful energy, healthy energy coming forth, and energy within self or outwardly or outwardly for this collective that is meant to receive this message? I'm going to show y'all the cards. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Ooh. All right. So the first card that you got was focus on your health. And I feel like that could be physical and or like your emotional well-being, your mental health, whatever, your spiritual health. This is a result. So like this energy that you're feeling is a result of you taking care of yourself. Like you've been pouring energy into you, healthy energy into yourself. Okay. You've been like active, taking care of yourself, maybe eating different, or you you're fasting currently, or you've been led to, or you've been you switched up your eating habits. I don't like calling it diet. Let's just say like you're eating healthier, right? You're drinking more water. Maybe you're going to the gym more, or you started going to the gym, or you started maybe working out in your house. They have the Pilates. People are now into like, or making it more popular, bringing it back, like the Pilates, the wall Pilates thing. For some, it could just be like taking walks, when you can, like trying to do something, or just getting out of the house, period. Like whatever strides you've been making towards a healthier energy, healthier lifestyle, this is a result of these energies. This is the blossoming. Um, yeah. So your energy is like at a different level as well. Like you're radiating something because it shows when you can tell when a person like really loves themselves, or you can tell when a person is taking care of themselves, whether it's like they have healthy nails, healthy skin, hair, or they just seem to be glowing. Their energy is different. They seem more lighter. And some people even say that like, I need to do a better habit of this. But like when I was going to the gym, I felt lighter in my energy, and not just because of like my body physically, but it's like I felt less heavy energetically, mentally. Like I just felt light in spirit and in my body. So this could be a testament for you guys to go back to the gym. Self-employment, commitment, resourceful, confident, and rewarding. So some of you guys, like, this blossoming is going to lead to you actually starting your own business. um yeah, this could be starting your own business. I also feel like for some of you guys, you are a messenger, or this could be being utilized as a messenger, as like starting your own books, um starting your own podcast, something where you're using your voice, something where uh like you are a messenger. It doesn't have to be like spiritual, as far as like an obvious spiritual thing like readings or being a prophet, or whatever. It could be some form of speaking or writing. But yeah, some of you guys, this is like you're leading yourself to that. You're doing yourself that favor. But look at all y'all team in the back. Look at y'all people. Like your angels and your ancestors, like your divine team. These are your legions of divine support that you have. The wise decision card, this did come out in reverse. So you guys might be afraid to take steps here. Like when these beautiful things start to come forth in your life, you might be like, oh, I don't know. So in reverse, it says misinformed, rethink, disarray, overlooked. It's like your spiritual team is trying to make sure that you get the gist of what is it that they're guiding you towards. So you might be seeing a lot of synchronicities around a particular thing, topic, situation. It could be some of the signs of synchronicity don't make sense to you, like why you're seeing them. And it's not just limited to numbers and stuff like that. It's different things that you keep seeing. Okay. So my sister, one of my beloved sisters, she sent me this video. It was like a funny video on Instagram. It was a reel of this crane that kept coming to this family's house, and it was coming out like there, the backyard where it has a little clear sliding door, and it was like knocking, like it kept coming all the time, and they were like, "What does this bird want? Like he just interrupting our naps and blah blah blah." And I was like, this bird is obvious. Like when birds do that, like they make their presence known like that, like any animal, I should say. When they're doing that, it's like they have a message. Like there's something about their presence that you need to tap into. Like, why is this bird visiting me? And I felt led to look up what cranes mean. And one of the things that did stood out to me, or did stand out to me, was it mentioned something about healthier connections. I gotta look it up. Let me see. Y'all, I'm all over the place. Let me sure. Because I know I texted, but yeah. Mm, let me see. Spiritual cranes. Because they have different type of cranes. One of the like main representations of them, they come across as the protector. They represent lifelong connections and relationships, pursuit of new things or experiences. Um, they can also represent freedom, good fortune, longevity. It could also represent a maternal type of love and connection. If it's a person, it's like a protective energy around you, or it could even be some of you, your ancestors may represent a crane. Okay. And I've never seen this meaning before, but this one just popped up on Pinterest. I just felt led to look at it. It says, stands for freedom, intelligence, good fortune, longevity, long lasting marriage, and a maternal love. So it's like be at comfort, be comforted by um where you're at right now. Like it's okay. Like not saying like just drop everything and don't pay attention to your surroundings or your life, what's going on, but have a bit more peace. And if you're afraid that you're going to move in the wrong direction, don't think or put your energy focus on making wrong decisions, rather than put your focus towards trusting that you will be in alignment with where you're supposed to be, and more you'll be able to see where you're going, where you're headed, where you're going, when you change your perspective like that. You know what I'm saying? So shift it. If you feel like, I don't know if I'm making the right decisions, trust that if it is in your best intentions that you want to make sure that you're in alignment with your path, focus on being in alignment with your path rather than not, or fearing that you're not. Okay. Because you'll cloud your judgment. You won't be able to see. And I feel like for a lot of you, spirit is showing you the doors. They're literally showing you the doors. And for some of you, you may be having dreams of doors, or you've been seeing some type of significance with doors, or pay attention to if there's signs placed on certain doors, like if it's numbers, maybe if that's how spirit speaks to you or something, like pay attention. Or when you walk into a space, what the conversations that you overhear being said, somebody might say something you need to hear, or like let's say a place that you walk into is playing music, what is being played around you. Like there's something with doors, soul groups, messages, reunion, connection, validation. So like your spiritual team is like sending you different forms of messages. There's birds all up in that self employment card, and there's bird feathers and hearts here. So it's like a rainbow heart around the soul group energy. So spirit is like using people as well to be a messenger for you, to be a source of like comfort or reassurance or revelation for you, whether they know this or not. Um, your spiritual team is going out of their way to reach you in some form, some different. It's going to resonate differently for each and every one of you. Um, Another thing that I'm picking up is spirit has not forgotten their promise to you. Spirit has not forgotten the covenant that you guys already have. Like, God is not a man or a woman. Like, it's not a human intelligence. It's far more advanced than the flesh. And therefore, God's source does not operate how humans do necessarily. The understanding is far, far more advanced and clever and up on game than we are, and can see all components of life and everything. Like, so spirit cannot lie and tell you something and be like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen, and then be like, oh well, you know what, I take that back. When we get told a prophecy or we receive a prophecy, whether it's a vision, whether it's coming through someone else, or we feel that download within the spirit within ourselves, it's an inner knowing, um, or someone that has the permission to tell you what to expect in your life. You are not going to get, I guarantee you are not going to get the full playbook. Spirit is not going to reveal all of its plans to you, because it's like that will take away from your experience. You don't need to know everything. And I always say this, sometimes the it steals the life out of a situation sometimes when you know too much. Sometimes it adds more of I should say, an excitement and adventure, or more of a piece of not needing to know everything, because the spirit told you, yeah, you were going to get, that dream job, but what you had to grow through to get there, you may not want to take the journey. Maybe like, oh, I don't know if that job is worth it. You're telling me that I have to go through a season of being broke, not being able to find a job. Like, I don't, I prioritize my stability. Why would I want to go through that just for this dream job? Like, that's stupid. But it's something behind that experience that's necessary. And again, like, spirit always reminds me of this, but I have to mention this, the Pursuit of Happiness movie, where Will Smith's character had to go through a season of homelessness with his son, and being told no when it came down to his invention, and just like going through these ups and downs till he finally heard yes for his invention. And it was like, you have to keep going. And if he would have known, like, yeah, this thing that you have a vision, this thing that you created, you're gonna get a yes, but you gotta sleep in a subway bathroom, like, it's dangerous. You're not gonna have a home. Your wife's gonna leave you and your son abandoned. Like, you would probably not want to walk that path because it wouldn't make sense to you. But, and it's not to say that things always have to have some type of twist like that, but it's not always going to be guaranteed that it's going to work out. Um, like, in a way that will be comfortable to you. Your human mind is like, I want comfort. I need this, I need that. And sometimes we get a bit like spoiled sometimes too when it comes to how life is supposed to be. We kind of expect it to be, especially in this generation, everything is given to us instantaneously. It's delivered to us on a silver platter at times. And therefore, we have this entitlement, like life is just supposed to always be a cakewalk. And that is not the case. And sometimes those uncomfortable moments, that leads to your growth. Oftentimes it leads to your growth. It's not a bad thing all the time. It is not to say that you should expect negative things to happen in your life. That's not what spirit wants for you. But to understand that life is a series of shifts and changes that may not always be comfortable to us, and things that we may not have a human understanding of maybe till later. But to have a different posture every season, no matter what season you go through as a human, you're going to have moments where you're upset about certain things. But it's like, I'm not going to stay upset. I'm not going to stay bitter, or I'm not going to stay in fear. I acknowledge that these are human emotions, but some emotions don't need for me to tap into them because they're lower natured things. So if I'm staying in that low vibrational energy, it's going to keep me in that energy, and I don't need that. So it's not to say be fake and be like, oh, I'm going through a heartbreak, I should just get up out of bed and be like, fuck that person. It's like, this shit hurts, I'm going to feel through it, but my life is not over. That's a shift in perspective. Hey, Ro. Yes, gotta trust the cycle that we're in. And then you have Archangel Soundophon with turquoise, and he has all these different, like, it looks like I don't know. At first, I'm like, I thought these were like lottery tickets, but there's different things. Like paper. It's like a piece of paper. It kind of looks like golden pieces of paper. Some of the words are, it says peace, betrayal, greed, abundance, forgiveness, chaos, gain, luck, loss, questions, answers, pain, and charity. So the key word is forgiveness, seeking, freedom, and healing. So yeah, again, kind of going back to the message where I just said, life is going to throw at you different things. You're going to experience losses just as you're going to experience gains. Kind of like the Wheel of Fortune energy. Looking at this card, it kind of like reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, that life has a series of twists and turns. Every season, as the scripture on this card, it says, for everything there is a season and a time for every activity under heaven. So like it's greater than what we can understand sometimes why we go through the seasons that we go through, but they're all necessary. It's just nature. Not scratching a lottery ticket. I hope may you get something, like some money off of that. Get something out of that. Yeah, you know those itchy palms? Like, I don't know, there's like a superstition. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of that, but like that's what I was taught. Like my family, like to be Christians, like for my people to so called be Christians, they sure was a superstitious motherfuckers. But my family though, like I don't know why we're so superstitious. It's so weird. But I have uh like this one where my mom is like, if you're sweeping or someone sweeps your foot while they're sweeping, you have to spit on the broom. Craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Um, and then the scratching, the itching of the palms is like you got some money coming. And that one I could actually say like, mm, there's been some instances where like some unexpected finances have come in, and I don't know if it's because I just had that belief every time, like, oh, my hands is itchy. So I've had that belief that, oh, that's what it is. Damn it, my candles just like squirted. That doesn't sound right. My bad. It just melted all on my seashell. Thank you, White Candle. You're trying to be kinky with my seashell. My seashell is just like, no, I'm just here for the wisdom. Like this looks like an ear, kind of, doesn't it? Kind of looks like an ear. Some of y'all need to clear your ears. Like maybe really get clean your ears out, literally. Or it's like your ears, like you need to have a fine tuning of listening. Like you gotta listen more to spirit when they talking to you. Okay, maybe you're not listening. I don't like that. Like, be our guest. I can remember his name from Beauty and the Beast. He trying to be kinky with my seashell. Okay. Yeah, like some Christians is like the most witchy, warlockish motherfuckers I know. I'm like, y'all need to cut the shit. Okay. Christianity, sometimes like when I was little, like don't get me wrong, and I'm all over the place, but we might be going somewhere with this as well. Um like when I would have like when we would go to church and we'd have the communion service where we would eat the crackers, which represented the flesh of Christ, and we would drink the grape juice. That grape juice was hitting. There's something about that. It's like you go in this section, like the international food section at the grocery store, and there's like a Jewish section, and they got this grape juice. Their grape juice has nothing, like I'm telling you, like there's something about it. Like Welchers, y'all ain't got shit on Jewish juice, okay? Y'all ain't got nothing on that. That grape juice just for some reason just hits different. So I would have the communions, but when I would be like, why are we eating? I asked my grandma one time too. I said, why are we eating crackers for someone's flesh? Like, I guess my spirit was like, this shit is weird as fuck. Like, this is it's giving cannibalism. Like, why are we doing this? It's just kind of strange. Like, this is some weird shit. But the juice, can I have some more juice? Like, that's all I was thinking about. But they gave you like the little plastic cups. We didn't get to have like a cup of juice. It's just like those little tiny, almost looks like a top that you would take your cough syrup on or something. So it's not like a cup. But yeah, that was just a side note. So superstitions and things like that. Some of you guys like you believe in like luck, like some people are lucky and some people are not. No. It's not that some people are lucky. It's just some people have more, let's say some people are good at certain things and maybe you're not good at those. It doesn't mean that you're not good at something. It just, people are assigned to different things or have a calling for a specific thing. Like it just is what it is versus, um, you know, the juice I'm talking about? Yes. That juice be hitting. I love that grape juice. Like Welchers, y'all need to step your game up. Y'all got too much sugar in that shit. Like the Jewish juice, it's like it tastes good. Okay. But let's see. Archangel Soundathon, if I'm not mistaken, he works with like music or sound. So like just like some information I've gathered, people believe that Archangel Michael, like when you hear sirens, that is Archangel Michael. Um, like if you hear like ambulances, fire trucks and stuff like that is Archangel Michael, or 911 or 911 represents Archangel Michael. It's because I guess like Archangel Michael is known as a protective angel. So it's like a heads up. But Archangel Soundathon, I feel like just deals with sound in general. It's like if you hear a car honking really loud or an alarm system going off or a song is playing, like pay attention to that. That could be Archangel Soundathon. And some of the music, like whatever you're listening, there's a reference to the ears. So you notice I keep mentioning the ears and the palms, the hands. Receive. You receive in your ears. You can receive in your eyes. You can receive in your hands and your touch, or you can close yourself off to those things the spirit is saying to be receptive. So like listen more and be open to receive. Okay. And you guys could feel anxiousness if you resonate with feeling anxious and you feel like there's something coming but you don't know what it is, or you have this like high anticipation, like something I don't know what's to come, I just feel it. And now I'm hearing like the Pocahontas reference where she was like, I feel like something's coming, I just don't know what, and she was like trying to find the answers. And her counselor was her grandmother Willow, this tree, right? And trees do represent wisdom. They represent the roots. They represent the ancestors. So some of you guys, you connect and in tune with your ancestors, or they have wisdom for you. But remember, the crane represents a maternal loving energy. So that grandmother energy, it's a gentle but very stern, very clear in its energy and its present in what it's saying to you. So if you listen, because she was telling her, listen with your heart, you will understand. You have to listen to the core self, acknowledge it. And if there's too much going on around you and inside of you, fears and doubts and I hope I don't do this, and what if I'm like, when you're clouding yourself with that, you can't hear spirit speak clear. You cannot. So ground your energy as well. And that could be why, for some of you, why you're being guided to eat. Some of you guys might be a little flighty in your energy and you need to ground yourself. Okay. You may need to rest more. All right. The bottom of the deck, are these in reverse? I feel led to turn this up because some of it is in reverse. But you have self-respect and worthiness, self-worth, affirmations, independent and motivated. And she has these different affirmations of words on her mirror, and she's sending love to herself. So for some of you, spirit is calling you literally to do some healing work around self-worth, affirmations. And I know that can seem kind of fake to do. Like it doesn't seem natural to be like, oh, I'm so this, especially if you don't feel that way about yourself. So if you have a hard time affirming yourself in that way, like calling things as though they are, even though you feel like they're not, instead of doing that, call out the things that you are confident genuinely about yourself. And don't say that you ain't got nothing, because you do. There's something that you're confident that's a positive, not something like, oh, I have the ability to be an asshole, like something sarcastic because you want to be in that negative energy. No, snap out of that. Be like, you know what? I'm actually really funny. I'm actually really goofy. Like, I love my sense of humor. Like, whatever you can find, like, the more you build upon that, the more you're going to see yourself in a positive light. Okay. I felt led to look at this. It says, angels are watching over you. Some of y'all are stressed out, and it could be stressed out about work. You have supported, protected, loved, and encouraged. Okay. You're not by yourself. And at the top of the deck, you have reality check. Ironically, with a unicorn, like where's the reality in that, right? But it says assessment, exploration, honesty, and determination. So, although you are this magical being, you are this divine being, you're a dope individual, there's a reality where things are not always, where you want it to be. It's not always going to be what you want it to be. Okay. Um, but nonetheless, you guys, I feel like you're at a beautiful place. It's just, and I feel like too, sometimes like you can be too in this reality state where you don't see the beautiful things around you, where you're not finding the magic in just the life. Like we feel sometimes like we always have to have some highlight, like something got to be popping for us to be happy or for our life to be something, instead of just living and existing and appreciating, like, okay, I have a space, I have a home, I have people in my life that do love me. I do have some form of income, or even if not right now, some of you may be unemployed. I still have some source of income that's taking care of me, or resources that are helping me with food and things like that. Still finding the blessing in the simplistic things. Or I'm grateful for the times that spirit, brought this person in my life that said what I needed to hear, or they helped me with something, or they gave me a reference or a resource that could help me with my situation, or my friend, that's always there for me when I need a listening ear, like whatever it is, like you have to find that. And I feel like that's how children are. I always, when I dream of my child, my daughter, she's a preteen, like pretty much she's a teenager. My God. Anyway, she's always a baby or a toddler in my dream. And I used to be like, is it me like trying to like not make her grow up? But I have to pay attention to the message behind like when she's in my dreams. And this particular dream, she was like a toddler and it was her birthday in her dream. But it kind of looked like we were preparing for a wedding ceremony, which was very weird. Um, but what I gathered, I have to tap more into that dream, but what I gathered was playfulness, how she was with the other kids and how present she was. And um, I don't know if we were in a reception or like a reception hall for the wedding, or was it like a church? I can't remember. I kind of remember the setting, but I don't remember in that much detail. But I just gathered from her like she was being celebrated and she was playful. She was just in her energy. She was laughing. And children are gentle reminders, definitely how to be present and how to be playful and make the most out of what is around you. Like they don't take anything for granted, whether they realize this about themselves or not. And I doubt children are thinking that deep into things, but they show us not to take things for granted, and like how they can take a spoon and like it's an airplane in their mind, or it's a jet, or it's a rocket ship in their mind. Like they have the ability to have that. And some people might be like, that's delusional as fuck. But it's the imagination aspect of a thing, to be like, I know that this is my situation, but I believe that I can turn my life around in this instance. Something of positivity, not from escapism because you don't want to deal with the reality of your life, but you know that this, where you're at in your life, is important too, and how to make the most of it, but to also strive for more, or to expect and anticipate more, or allow yourself or step into the energy of more or newness. All right, so let's pull some tarot. I love these cards. I don't use them often. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Luna. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are a blessing too. Thank you guys for like coming on here and we just connect and we just vibing, and like your energy and your presence is appreciated as well. Like I thank you guys, because without y'all the channel don't move. All right, so Lilith with power, which is the Emperor. Fire, the Nine of Integrity, which is the Nine of Wands. Fire, Eight of Expression, which is the Eight of Wands. fire energy just all across the board so far. Let's see what else. Let's see. The Great Void, which is the oh my God, I think this is the Judgment card. Okay. So 2 major arcana cards and 2 fire or wands energy. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the 6 of Forgiveness, which is the 6 of Wands, which is interesting that would be. And then she has kind of looks like that Sacred Heart, the Jesus heart. So Christ consciousness starts within the heart chakra, that awakening, that sacrifice of selflessness, that purposeful, finding the purpose within you, within your existence, being a person of compassion and service, but with honor and respect of yourself as well, not overextending or overgiving. So you guys, that 5 of Wands energy is that battlefield within the self sometimes, and it could be within the world around you, but you can fight yourself within the world around you, where it's like, I'm not good enough because this happened to me, because someone else did this to me. So that is a reflection of I'm not worthy. And that is a battle that that is an example of having a battle within the world around you, rather than seeing it from another perspective. And I feel like the forgiveness aspect of this card, because I never really paid attention to I don't use these cards often, so I never had to really sit with this card. I don't feel this is an interesting take on the 6 of Wands being a forgiveness card. So that battle that you've been through previously, getting to that place now where you have the level of understanding that you do. And what is this? I thought those were her hands. Are those her hands? They are her palms. Her palms are up. And there's a light illuminated from, yeah, it's like that Christ energy. So, Spirit, what is you saying? I know this is talking about Christ consciousness and the heart space, the heart chakra, and the forgiveness for, okay, thank you, Spirit. Some of you guys had to release outside of you. Because look, there's a heart here that's standing out to me in the 8 of expression. And then there's a light coming from this person's heart chakra as well, and their crown chakra. And this is the Judgment card. And her palms are facing upward and illuminated as well. Similar energies coming through. Okay. You could have been wronged. Some of you guys are not able to surpass that. This is the stage of initiation that you're having to go through. This is the door. You're going to have to walk through this door, the pathway of letting go of the past, or in order to walk through the new door, I should say, of whatever is on the other side that you feel is awaiting you, but you may not know what that is that awaits you. You have to shut the door on what has happened to you, not from a place of you forgot what happened to you and it just erases from your memory and your experience, but from a place where you make peace with it. Because it's like that saying where Jesus was, we're going to use that Christ reference, because I'm getting that. I'm getting 3 things from that. I'm getting the forgive your enemies, for they know not what they do. Second reference I'm getting is resurrection, which is that reference to blossoming. Okay. Being born again in a new state of energy, childlike energy. And the third reference I'm getting is that lack of faith and belief, but the proof is in what you've been through. Like, if you ever have to pinch yourself and be like, why is this good thing happening to me? Or why would good things happen to me? It's a testament because of what you have gone through. It is a reminder that what you blossomed from, what you grew through, what you matured through, that is why. So I'll break it down. So when Christ was on the cross, right, and they wrongfully accused him. They know that he was not a criminal, but they punished him as a criminal, I guess, in their justice system in that time. Wrongfully accused him. His people turned on him. His boys turned on him. Okay. They were ashamed. They were in fear, I believe, that they didn't want to be prosecuted. They didn't want to be up on the cross. So it was like, I'm going to deny him. I'm going to sell him out for some change. But that conviction was too great. They felt terrible. And one of them to the point where he took his own life. Like, that's how terrible it was. So anyway, so Jesus is being spat on, he's being laughed at, mocked, kicked around, carrying this heavy ass cross after being whipped severely, right? And that could represent the burdens of life, metaphorically speaking, going through that, knowing what it's like for people to turn on you or to speak negatively against you, people that are supposed to love you or people that you love back. Because, if you look at how Christ was depicted, he was here to be of service to humanity and to help people and to heal the sick. And these are strangers. You don't know these people, right? Some of the people that he helped, they were close to him. They were close allies, but for the most part, he was in mission. And he had these religious folk that just was like, he's up to no good. He's a witch. He's a warlock. Or they just didn't agree with what he was doing. So they found a way to crucify him. And when he was suffering on the cross, he said, to forgive them, for they know not, Father, for they know not what they do. Like, and I watched that movie, The Passion of the Christ, and that's a very traumatic movie. I can't sit through that movie like that. I can't. But when he was up on the cross, he was like affirming things, like, because you had to imagine what that position must have felt like. Like, I can't even like tap into that. Like, as an empath, I don't even want to imagine what that feels like. But not only are your hands nailed to something and you're hanging, so like your chest is caving in, it's collapsing, you can barely breathe, you're weak up there, like it's horrible. And let's say he was up there for what I imagine was hours before he actually just left. That's excruciating pain for a human. If that is a factual thing, that really happened, just imagine. Because there were people being crucified like that. So it may have not been like this Christ figure that we talk about, but a person going through that, just in general, any human being, that is horrible. So like like I said, I can't even put myself in that feeling, a state of even imagining that. I don't want to. But that is the pain. And as you're going through this pain, you still have this understanding of like, no, this isn't it. This isn't it for me. There's better. I understand that there's a greater purpose to this. And, you know, and at some point you feel like God has turned their cheek and forsaken you, or like you're just in a shitty luck state. Like, why me? Why is this happening to me? When you get to those certain places, like certain things that you don't understand. And Christ was saying, like, asking God, why have you forsaken me? Like, I did all of this. And it's like, it's heavy. It's a heavy thing. So, but the thing is, you have not been forsaken. So the resurrection, the blossoming process is, when they say Christ died and he rose after 3 days. And that's the spring energy, the spring equinox. That's where they celebrate Easter, the blossoming, the season of the new beginning. So like they say Christ represents, I'm getting into the astrology of that shit. I don't know where this is coming from, but just roll with it. So they teach us that Christ was born on Christmas. That would make him a Capricorn by Western astrology, right? But then they depict him as the fish, which is Piscean energy. So that wouldn't make sense either. But he rose again, and we celebrate him during spring equinox, which has references to an Easter bunny, which is fertility and birth, right? Eggs represent birth, rebirth, resurrection. So that is like spring season, where Christ represents the winter season. If he was really born between, let's say hypothetically, Capricorn or Pisces season, that would be the winter season going into spring. So I feel like your that process that you're going through, where you're going through something that is a purposeful thing. You're going through your age of your crucifixion into your resurrection, if that makes sense. And the palms, the third reference that I'm getting to Christ was the palms in his hand, like the holes in his hand, how he visited his disciples after he rose again. And they all believed it was him. They believed, like, you said you was going to be resurrected, and here you are standing before us. But there was one that didn't. Thomas was like, I don't know if this is really you. I have to touch your hands. And he was like, well, touch my hands. And like, it's real. Like, you can see the holes in my hands from the nails. Like, touch my hand. And sometimes you don't believe, you have to see certain things to believe it. I feel like our team, our divine team, divine source, like they don't judge us for that. Like, yes, we have to have faith, but as a human, and also with the acknowledgement of what you've gone through, it's not always going to make sense to you, right? It's not always going to um it's not always going to be something that you believe, especially if you have the shitty end of the stick in certain ways. Maybe not your entire life, but maybe certain things, or you've gone through a season where things have not worked out for you, or a particular area has not worked out for you. And now that it is, it's like, is this for real? And let's say with love, because I feel like this can easily resonate with somebody when it comes to love, where you have to trust another person once again, where someone comes in and let's say this man or this woman is genuine, they're real, like they have good intentions for you, but because of what you've been through, you you're not sure if you can trust it, even if all the signs are telling you like, no, this person really has the best intentions for you, this person really loves you, they really care about you, but you'll get in your head and you're just like, I don't know. And you try to find the reasons why. And spirit understands, like, yeah, you need that reassurance sometimes. That's a natural thing. Don't shame yourself for that. But you have to learn how to surpass that fear and that self doubt and insecurity without needing something to validate it. Okay. You don't need it to be validated all the time. Um, so you're entering that place where it's like a sacred space with this expression card. The expression, like once you reach that heart chakra level where you go through all of the cycles that you needed to go through up until this point in your life, at least, where you went through those experiences and your heart is open, your heart is full, your heart is free of the burden. And now it's like, this is the birthing energy. Your light, like spirit wants you to turn your light on. Okay. No, not everybody's going to like it. It might make you feel a little bit exposed, but that light of yours, it is it's a lighthouse to not only for the world around you, but for spirit, like for your blessings. That how do I like I can't explain stuff sometimes. It's like crazy. I'm trying to make it make sense because the download sounds it's clear spiritually when I'm like the download itself, but like interpreting it in a way that's like practical and humanish sounds crazy. So I'm getting like your blessings have to locate you. So if you are in this state of like closing yourself off, or you're in fear, your doubt, your insecurities, or you're connecting or surrounded by an environment that kind of keeps your light kind of captive and hidden and capsulated, those energies that are aligned with that light of yours cannot locate you. And I've said this in personal readings for some people, that you can't locate every blessing. When your energy is closed off or you're in a negative state. And like I said, again, as a human, like we have our moments, but we don't want to dwell in those spaces for too long, because we start to carry it, we start to become those energies. um I was watching a healer, like this guy, he's a chiropractor. I can't remember his name. His name is Dr. Jamal something. I can't remember his last name. It starts with a P. But Dr. Jamal, he's a chiropractor. He does healing talk, like healing, like what do you call it, seminars and stuff like that. And he was talking about how he learned that when you have a feeling or an emotion, you should process it within 15 seconds and don't dwell in it. And I know that sounds humanly impossible sometimes, because you'll feel the pain. You might be reminded, like, wow, this thing happened, or I just lost this person, or I just went through this breakup, or I just lost this job, or I just learned that, I might have this, you know, sickness or this or that. Like you don't want to dwell in that, but process it within those 15 seconds, but don't get too far and deep into it unless you want that to be embodied because he says after that 15 seconds, the body processes it and it becomes a state of being. Like the body takes it in and you start to become that energy behind it, which is why some people are sick. Some people can have literally cause themselves to be sick. People can die from heartbreak. Like that is a real thing. Like your heart can be so literally heart shattered and broken and in despair that you can actually die from that. So like a dis-ease within your body can lead to literal diseases. Like that's a real thing. So like that's why it's important to not dwell in those energies. You don't want to leave this planet or this earth with this heaviness and this dark energy. Like you don't want that on your spiritual body. Like you want to transition in light. Um so if you were to have a circumstance that's like unfavorable, find that point of light within the situation. Like at least find it, because there's always a way. And people, it's hard to imagine that, but trust me, like there's ways to find the light in a tough situation. And I feel like for those that have the ability to do that, you I commend you, because it's not easy. It's not. Um, and if sadly enough, it's easier to just go, or at least we think it's easier to just be like, well, I'm just going to side with just being negative because this is what seems to be the reality of it. But you understand that you suffer more. You suffer more when you side with that pain or to stay in a negative state of mind. So you're entering that space, and the judgment card with the great void. See, there's a universe in her stomach. You are connected to source. That's why you feel the things that you feel. You feel things in your stomach because that's your center, your point of where you channel information. You might be too in tune sometimes with the world around you, the collective energy around you, where you feel their energy as well. They could be somewhere far out in Egypt or somewhere far out in Australia, and you feel that energy. You could feel it. You can feel what's going on around the world. You sense everything. But this also is a testament that you're birthing a new energy. The judgment card is that final energy before you get to the world card, but that cycle closes out that leads to a new beginning. So you're very, very close. You're very, very close to birthing this new energy out, this new chapter in your life. And that's for a lot of you that have been feeling anxious in the pit of your stomach. That is why. That's why. So let's pull some advice cards. Actually, let me see what these is like. We already see this one. This is the faith to walk through new doors. Take care of the little things. The river of God has plenty of water. It provides a bountiful harvest of grain, for you ordered it so. Psalm 65 and 9. So, and there's also like, look, the door is open. And there's like this energy coming in. It kind of looks like the same kind of energy of this card, where these roses, these rose petals, you're going to get your flowers. Like you're going to, for some of you need to know, like you are appreciated, you are loved, you are going to receive, you're going to receive that love that you give back into the world. You are, because you've given it out. And spirit always provides for you. So if you're able to take care of the small things right now where you feel like, you know, you haven't been given what you've been desiring or wishing for, or praying for yet, and it seems like you're being overlooked, or when is it going to be your turn, or um you've been in some single of or single, I didn't mean to say that, some of you guys is like your single season, and it's like, when am I going to have a partner? For some of you it's like, how long do I have to stay in this job, how long do I have to stay in this living situation, whatever the case may be, or is my treatments going to go through for my health or my family? It could be for someone else that you are concerned about. If you can take care of the things right now that you feel like are minimal because they're not exactly what you want yet, right? Or you're not where you want to be yet, you can find appreciation and love and attend to the things that are here in front of you. Spirit is going to continue to provide more, the more you're capable of being able to handle the bigger thing. Because the thing is not so much of obtaining a blessing or obtaining a wish or whatever, it's being able to sustain it, being able to actually do well with it and steward that thing that you have. So you can have the partner of your dreams, but are you in that state, or are you willing at least to maintain and sustain that relationship in the way that it deserves and needs, that attention that it needs? People say, "Oh, I want a baby," but are you the type of parent that you know that child deserves to have? Meaning that you're able to show up in a nurturing and loving way and give to that child, or make the sacrifices necessary to make sure that that child is safe, that that child is taken care of and has food on their back and is being loved properly in the right environment, energetically, spiritually. Okay. Happy home. My love. Why did I say my love? My goodness. My people will live in safety, quietly at home. They will be in rest. Isaiah 32 and 18. And there's Christ energy there. So, and it's the world energy, like the world card. So you have the judgment, and this card kind of is giving the world. So you are in good hands. Okay. That home can represent many things. Um, it may not just be like literally like home, but this can represent what it is that's closest to your heart. You know, home is where the heart is, right? As they say. So your those things and the matters of the heart and the people that you love, because I said my love. So the people that you love, platonic, romantically, family, whatever, what have you, they are also in good hands. Okay. So some of you guys, this is your prayers for your loved ones. Okay. You've been praying for them. Acknowledge the truth, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8 and 32. So whatever it is that you need to know, have peace in, know that it's going to come in a place of, even if it's something tough to digest or to hear, there's a level of knowing the truth, and it kind of gives you this freedom, like, okay, that's not really what I wanted to hear or what I wanted to know, but I know that I needed to hear. It's like a sigh of relief at the same time. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, some of you guys know what I'm talking about, that feeling. Like, I was watching this one girl. I always got an example, but literally, like, for real, this girl that I watch, or this woman, excuse me, this young woman that I would watch, she was going through this journey, and she's like one of those Christian channels, right? She does the little prophetic words, and she was talking about how, like, she was being led to her husband, and she felt like, she said, God revealed to me who my husband was, and she was dating this guy, and he had ghosted her after a while. Like, he just stopped talking to her, and she went and prayed, and she was like, God, like, I need confirmation or just further revelation whether or not this is my person. And she said that the guy had reached out to her and basically apologized for wasting her time, and it was like, I'm sorry that I built an emotional soul tie with you, and like, I wish you the best, and I hope that you find what's for you, blah blah blah, whatever, right? She said that, yeah, it hurt, but she needed it. It was the piece that she needed to release herself from holding on to that, because that was, I imagine, like, something that was a painful thing, like, to feel like someone was your person and God revealed them to you as or you felt like God revealed them to you, or whatever, whatever y'all believe in, and only for this person to ghost you and not hear back. So that's not everybody's story, but I just felt led to say that because you can imagine that would be very painful and devastating, but she still felt a sense of peace. Like, it hurt her. She said, like, she had to process it and, like, heal past that, that disappointment, but nonetheless it set her free. So you will know the truth by the way that it feels, because it will set you free. The truth sets us free, even if it feels good or the truth doesn't. It's a feeling of, like, okay, it is what it is. Um, be the powerful presence of peace. And there's another unicorn reference. says, give all of your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. 1 Peter 5:5-7. So again, you have the ability to tap into that presence. And I always say, if you don't have, if you don't have the strength, or you feel like you cannot find the strength within yourself to make sense of a certain situation, or how to handle something, or why you're in it, always consult divine source, God, like for higher understanding and wisdom to be given to you, or to give you or grant you that peace that surpasses all understanding. And I'm not just telling you some shit out of my ass, like do this, if I haven't tried it myself. If I haven't had to cry out to God and ask God to give me peace and give me understanding. And when I say cry out, it's like being fed up, being frustrated, maybe even being angry, being just like, God, I don't get this. I don't fucking understand this. Like being real, like I don't get this. Why? Or how do I deal with this? That peace will be given to you. Retreat from the outside world. The rain and snow come down from the heavens and stay on the ground to water the earth. So this is again that winter season energy, the snow being that season of hibernation, that season of where it's like you're fertilizing your ground for your blossoming. You have to have the water to water the earth, or the snow, as they say, that essentially is just water. Fertilizing, or helping to nurture and to water the ground, the earth, so that things can properly grow in that space. So the season, again, going back into that season that you're in, and it doesn't have to be literally winter season, but that season within yourself that feels cold, that feels like isolation, that feels a little bit stagnant, a dark time where, you might have some good days, but the nights are longer, meaning like the darkness, it feels like it outweighs the sunlight, the days, right? Those seasons are necessary for your maturity and your growth. You just have to understand as to why. And when things do sprout forth, it will make sense to you. When you get into that season of spring, why it happened, why things are blossoming, why things are growing, why you're maturing. And then when you get into the harvest season, the fall season, that's when things start to fall into place a little bit. And not literally these seasons, like it doesn't have to mean like this is the timeline literally, but just energetically speaking, as your life, a metaphor of your life being like the seasons. So let's pull some advice, or like we even need any more advice, because I feel like Spirit was just giving us advice the whole time. So I don't know. All right. Let's see advice for the collective, Spirit. Okay. How do you want to do it? How you want to do it? How you want to do it? Okay. Journey. It says you travel or discover a new side path to explore. So it's like the Three of Wands energy, where the boat is coming in now, where you're in the place to be receptive. Let me see. What's at the bottom of the deck? Because I felt temptation. Your integrity is being tested, so resist strain. For some of you, that desire to need to know everything could be a temptation, to where if you knew it, like I said, if you bite that apple and your eyes are open, are you ready to deal with the consequences of what you see and what you know? Because it might not be something that wants you, like something you would want to stay on course. If you really knew, like, hey, yeah, this is going to happen for you, but you are going to go through a season of this, or you might have to go through this or this and that, and this person might turn their back on you, or whatever might happen, right? You might be like, nah, I don't want that. And for some of you, it's just the temptation to just throw in the towel, because it's getting tough, it's getting hard for you, or you feel like you don't have all the answers. So it's like, F this. Spirit is like, watch that. Be careful with that energy. Resist walking away, or just throwing in the towel, or settling for a path that is not for you, or just saying, oh, this is my life, I'm just going to settle for this, or I'm never going to find that love of my dreams, so I might as well just take up what's here just now, or stay in this shitty relationship, or I'm not going to pour into my dreams because whatever, no, don't fall into that trap. It's a trap. What was that on? That's on Star Wars, huh? something with Star Wars. Okay, so let's see. What else, Spirit? A lot of cards when they come out. Abundance. Your goals and plans are coming to fruition now. That is why Spirit is saying, like, you can't afford to play no games. You cannot do that. Success. See, your current venture will excel if you stick with it. Okay? That's what it says right here. It's exactly what it says. Family, making a home and having kids and loving support. Okay? So you are supported. For others of you, again, going back to the whole family thing, like your people, they're good. Look, and at the bottom of the deck, rooted. There's that tree. There's the vines. There's the roots. It says, stand your ground and know you are connected. So you are connected to Source God, like your divine team, your divine people. Like, you need reassurance of that. Some of you. Let's get a message from Aphrodite. Yeah, see, I might have said this in another video. I don't remember. It seems like I said this already, but I had this revelation that, because I seen this meme like a long time ago where it was like, your time is taking a little bit longer because you're not out here selling your soul or something like that. And selling your soul doesn't have to be like that typical, like, you know, how the quote unquote conspiracy theorists talk about, like signing your name in blood and giving your soul to the devil for fame and riches. But when you compromise yourself, your core self, your true identity, your hopes, your dreams, like when you do that, that is selling your soul so that you can get something quicker, something faster, and be like, I'm going to compromise my morals just so I can get ahead a little bit faster, or step on some people's toes or backstab people just so I can get ahead. That is selling your soul. You're giving, you're throwing and casting aside your core truth and self. And the righteousness within you, when I say righteousness, not like a Christian righteousness, but where you choose to do the right thing in life versus just being like, whatever, I don't care who I hurt, what it's all about me. That's the flesh. Because when you manifest or chase dreams or goals from that place, that dark place, those riches, they may last. You may be on top for a long time. So when you see successful people that some of them, they didn't take the path of like earning their right there. They were not of integrity. They sold out. They did things that compromised their well-being. And maybe we all have been there to some level or some degree. Maybe not on a grand scale. But when you compromise yourself just to fit in, that could be one. We might think that that's a small thing, but it's actually a big thing where you say, oh, I know, but these people don't really resonate with me, but I just want to fit in. I just want to have people around me, and you don't resonate with them. That could cost you your life. For some people, like hanging around with the wrong people can cost them their life. It can cost them to like go down a path that is not for them, that does not resonate with them, to compromise their gifts and their talents because they want to fit in, they want to lessen themselves, or get into a relationship that you know is not for you, but you don't want to be alone. So you compromise your morals by being with someone that may treat you like shit, cheat on you, and say, well, at least I have a man, at least I'm married, or something like that, right? So it could be those levels. But you could, like I said, the so-called thing that you compromise your spirit and your soul, your morals and values for, you might be in that marriage for 10 years, 15 years. You might be rich and famous for decades and years, but is your soul at peace? No. Which is why a lot of people got to smoke weed, take as many drugs as they can, constantly be stimulating themselves with external things. Oh, I gotta buy this, I gotta buy that, or I gotta travel, I gotta get out of the country so I can get out. Like, but you might be disassociated for a time, but your soul is always going to call you back to that place and say, we're disassociated, we're not connected, we're not at peace. So it can look cute on the outside where it seems like, because not everybody is receiving blessings from the divine, like blessings that are clicked in and divinely aligned with them based off of their soul, what their soul is here to attract and manifest. And not everybody, I don't want to get too deep into this, but I don't believe everybody's soul necessary is good, and some people don't have souls. Some people just I feel like some people just are soulless beings. I really fully believe that. But for those that have that soul, that have a light, you can't live life comfortably compromising yourself. You can't lie to yourself. And it feels like a dis-ease and a discomfort in the body, because it is. It's a sign to your soul, like something's not right. Like we're not connected. Like this is not for me. This is not resonating with me. I'm miserable. And you're going to constantly be reminded of that. No matter what you do, no matter what it looks like on the outside, you're not going to be at peace. And I'm sure there's some of you that could attest to that, or where you've experienced that compromising of yourself and what you really want and what you're really worth, and that disease that comes with it. Because you're going to be constantly reminded, whether, like I said, you are in a relationship with someone that's not for you. It's a constant reminder, either by the way that you guys don't really connect, or by the way this person keeps cheating on you or talks down to you. That's going to be your constant reminder to your soul, like, this is not what I asked for. This is not really what I want. So why am I here? But that part of yourself that feels empty or feels like you're not deserving of what you really want, or that you can really have it, you stay in that, and you're wondering why you're miserable, because your soul is like, this ain't it. Like, this is not real. This is not real love, or this is not really where I want to be. Okay. So don't um forfeit your path just to settle, because you're not going to be happy even further. Pamper yourself is a message as well. So you have, my dear child, to feel like a goddess is to treat yourself like one. Now is the right time to make time for yourself and pamper yourself. Take a bath, get a manicure, or get treatment that makes you feel and look good. So Valentine's Day is coming up. Treat yourself. And I need to get my nails done, but with my job, I have to be careful with the kind of nails I get, because I like my nails long, and I cannot wear long nails to work because I lift things, and like it's just it sucks. But I want to get my nails done. So however y'all feel led to pamper yourself. Pampering yourself could look like staying in bed and just watching TV, or watching a good movie, reading a good book, minding your fucking business, getting a hotel, or taking a trip, just something for you, right? Messages. My beautiful child, when you radiate a divine energy, we attract the attention of other people. Remember, your light has to be turned on, so your blessings and things that are for you can find you. Remember, I was saying that. It says, when you draw this card, it is a sign that someone will soon approach you. An invitation may be on the way. Okay. So take that if that resonates with you. So I'm gonna leave it at that, you guys. That was our Love Vibes reading for this week. I hope this reading blesses you and has blessed you, or will bless someone that comes across this. If you feel led to share it with your peoples, your loved ones. And as always, much love. If you guys like to book a reading with me, I will leave it in the description. My love specials are available now through February the 14th, which is next Wednesday. So go ahead and take advantage of those love reading specials. I'll leave more of the information. It's on the community post, actually. Go check out the community post, my recent community post. Um, and yeah, any other reads, just check out the links in the description. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the love that you guys show, your presence, just your light, your love, your support. I greatly appreciate it. And just for you being you, you are loved. Much love to you. Be blessed, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.